Class 4 English children, you must be loving that kite flying. And this story, Bravo Amir Aga, is based on the enthusiasm, the thrill, the triumph that children enjoy during that kite flying. How they cut the kites, how they run after the cut kites, and how they managed with the different tricks for all these is what I'm going to share with this story. Up and down the streets, the kite runners were returning triumphantly, means happily. Their captured kites held high. So, whichever number of kites they had captured, they were showing high and they were showing the triumph, that happiness, the joy of winning those kites. They showed them off to their parents and their friends, but they all knew the best was yet to come. The biggest prize of all was still flying. I sliced a bright yellow kite with a coiled white tail. It cost me another gash on the index finger. Index means first finger. This finger is used generally during flying of the kite, where the thread is holded with the thumb and the index finger, and blood trickled down my palm. I had Hassan hold the string and suck the blood dry and blotted my finger against my jeans. So, children, when they are busy in their games, so it doesn't matter whether they are hurt, they are injured, they keep on into this flying kites only, into their games only. So, he let the Hassan hold the string, and then without even looking or bothering more about the blood oozing out of the finger, he just blotted his finger against his cheeks. With another hour, the number of surviving kites dwindled from about 50 to a dozen. I was one of them. I had made it to the last dozen. I knew this part of the tournament would take a while because the guys who had lasted this long were good. They wouldn't easily fall into simple traps like the old lift and dive, Hassan's favorite trick. So now the Hassan and the boy who was holding the thread of the kite. Now he usually used this trick only, lift and die, lift and die. That's all. But now there were so many children doing up with this flying kite, and he was finding that it was not easy to snatch the kites from them. Let's see what happens later. By 3 o'clock that afternoon, tufts of cloud had drifted in, and the sun had slipped behind them, shadows starting to lengthen. The spectators on the roofs bundled up in scarves and thick coats. We were down to a half dozen, and I was still flying. My legs ached and my neck was stiff, but with each defeated kite, hope grew in my heart like snow collecting on a wall, one flake at a time. So it doesn't matter to him whether he was losing the kites, but every time he thought, next time, maybe next kite would be mine. So even despite getting tired, he was still playing over there this game of kite flying. You can see how children they are enjoying this kite flying and how beautiful the sky is looking with colorful kites. Everyone kept returning to a blue kite that had been wreaking havoc for the past an hour. How many has he cut? I asked. So this blue colored kite was a havoc, was a fear for others because the one who was flying this blue colored kite, he might be an expert, and this blue kite was cutting all the kites. So children wanted to know that who is the one who is flying that kite. I counted 11, Hassan said. So the question was how many kites were cut by that blue kite? And Hassan said 11. Do you know whose it might be? Hassan clicked his tongue and tipped his chin. That was a trademark Hassan gesture, which meant he had no idea. So, this is how Hassan used to express. The blue kite sliced a big purple one and swept twice in big loops. 10 minutes later, he had cut another two, sending hordes of kite runners racing after them. So, within few minutes, 10-15 minutes, that blue kite again cut three kites. One was purple, and then another two one also. And there were children running after to get those kites which were cut by the blue kite. Another After another 30 minutes, only four kites remained, and I was still flying. So, after 13 minutes, only four kites were there in the sky, and one of them was of this child. It seemed I could hardly make a wrong move, as if every gust of wind blew in my favor. I had never felt so in command, so lucky it felt intoxicating. So, children, I stop here. In part 2, we will start from here. So, till here, we had come to know in the story that the children, they were enjoying the kite flying, and there was a very tough competition, not a formal competition, only play competition going up. And let's find out what happens later.